Dynamic voices for a diverse church. This is Pass the Mic.
Part made it into The Color of Compromise.
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
Real interesting.
What slid that in there? It's like, yo, look.
Look. It's just like, yes.
Man, what's that process been like?
It's been really enlightening. I learned a lot, right? Like, you're not really, you think you know the topic, and then you really try to write about it. So I just, hours and hours and hours of research. And it's sort of, but you hit the right topic because it kind of convinces you even more of your topic. So that's happened. The editing process, honestly, has been quite difficult because they wanted me to add a whole other chapter.
Whoa.
So that is what's consuming my mind right now. But it's one of those things like, I've never been a woman, but labor, right? Like, you're gestating so long and you're pouring so much energy into writing this book.
Uncles be using women's illustrations.
All right,
that's such an uncle thing to do. Like, yo, it feels like I'm in labor.
Cut that part out. The point is,
nothing out, man.
Listen,
It's PTM Unplugged, homie. What is that? What's that show? Comedians driving in cars with coffee?
Yes.
Black men driving in cars with durags.
With durags. That's a whole new spin on it.
So, but you
Georgia,
it's like in you. It's like in you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm very eager to see what the response is because it's going to be one of two. It's going to be either people love it because it's confirming a lot of what they already thought, but putting data and facts behind it, or they're going to hate it because it's completely against their whole philosophy of how racism works and discrimination works. Because it goes, racism as a cultural construct, it changes with culture, right? So it's racism in 1860 is going to look different than racism in 1960 than it looks in 2017. And the further you go with, literally wars fought, laws passed, racism, one of the lines I use in the book is that racism never goes away, it just goes underground. Mm-hmm. Occasionally peeks its head back up like we're seeing now, and it's much more overt. But it's going to be a struggle for people who already are resistant to ideas of systemic and institutional racism because it gets subtler as time goes on. So I'm laboring really hard to make those connections as explicit as I can, but at the end of the day, after the introduction, you're gonna know whether you're gonna ride with this thesis or not.
And then there's a sense in which which is hard. I know for your first book, just recognizing the reality that you don't have to prove everything comprehensively. Like, you're one book in a lexicon. Like, you want to be supportive. Like, you want to have the right materials. You want to have proof. But it's not a situation. Just gonna keep straight. But it's not one of those things where you have to eat the whole elephant, so to speak.
Yeah. I say at the top, like, this book is the hallway to the house, and there's all these rooms in this house of American history that you can branch off into. And so I just want to open the door and let you in. You got to go ahead and I'm telling you, the footnotes will be crazy. Just there's a ton of resources.
I'm most looking forward to the footnotes. I'm looking forward to your book too. But it feels like that's going to be really robust.
I might do like a little short selected bibliography just to get people started.
And then I think it's like your book is one of the, I don't know about first book, but it's like one of the really good new books, like in the new wave of this is what it looks like to be a part of this movement that, whether it's a quiet exodus or whether it's a reclaiming and a returning to our roots, truth telling, whatever movement you want to call it, however people would define us, I think it's one of the first books that's gonna, kind of be a tipping point for other books to come out, scholarship, and to put flesh on what we're doing.
It's this hybrid thing, right? Like, it's using academic history, so it's sort of scholarly in that sense, but it's meant for everybody, right? Like, it's a quote-unquote trade book in the sense of it's meant for lay people in the church, really.